Hi Scorpios, if you want to come on in, have a seat, take a look at your ink blot made in your name and essence. Feel free to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms for shapes or symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Scorpio, thank you so much. I'm excited to explore your abstract aura and see if any spirit messages come through. Scorpio. Like, share, subscribe. Sorry, I feel like I got lost there for a moment. Scorpio, like I got yeah, okay. I don't know if this is something that's been happening in the Scorpio energy that you're just like, what? Where was I for a moment? It happens really, really quickly. So I'm seeing like orange peels, like if you were to peel an orange or a tangerine, and then, here's one piece and one piece. That's what I'm seeing, like peeling an orange. So I don't know if you're peeling back some things or you're really wanting to taste kind of the fruits of your labor, potentially. But I'm also seeing up here, if I may, so there's like the orange pieces, and then up here I'm seeing, I don't know, I don't want to assume Scorpios, but I'm kind of getting this feeling like they're like people like I don't know if they're battling or getting ready to throw a punch, or they just simply are waving their hand as they're talking. And I'm, it's kind of like watching some people who are very passionate in their conversation and they're yelling, but really it's like it's being misunderstood. You're like, no, they're not angry. That's completely normal. They're just passionate communicators. But at one, I'm almost seeing like, yeah, somebody's kind of getting ready to throw a punch. Maybe you're just frustrated if you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. Or this is an inner conversation with oneself. Like, I don't know if you're beating yourself up about something, Scorpios. I'm going to keep on going here. I am seeing, it's an anteater. And he's kind of like vacuuming, like sucking things up off the ground. It's like an anteater / Zamboni kind of feel. Like he's trying to keep up with some debris. But there's like, I don't know why I did this, but that's fine. Way, way, way deep in here, there's 3 seals playing with a ball. So I don't know if the seal symbology means anything to you, and I encourage you to look it up to find and resonate if you don't have your own, or to spark that. But they're playing with a ball, like on their noses. Something about play. Something about play. Could also be something from when you were a child and this anteater Zamboni person, maybe it was a parent or a guardian of some sort that was always off having to work, so you were left to your own devices. It feels playful, but I'm not sure that you might perceive that as that. You might have felt left alone. There could be up to 3 siblings, or two siblings in particular. I'm also seeing that in a space of like 2 bigger seals are bouncing the ball back and forth, and then there's this other one that's like, well, what about me? What about me? Actually, what it's bringing into my focus is from the show Big Mouth, and I can't remember the gentleman or the cartoon character's name, but like his parents are away a lot. I think like, and he's got like the crazy hair. Anyway, and his parents are away a lot, and he has 2 older brothers, and I think they're kind of douchebagies. So this kid is left to his own devices a lot to figure things out on his own. So there's this in particular behavior that expresses that. That's what it's kind of making me feel, Scorpio. So I don't know if that's something you're reflecting upon or looking to heal. And I almost want to say, with advice, not advice, if you're looking at the anteater / Zamboni person that's kind of always away or was always away, even if they're passed on right now, they're probably not the one that you're going to get answers from. Not because they have them, or that will even suffice for you. But it's almost making me feel as though they had to do what they had to do to survive. And now you might be feeling like you're in your own survival mode. But I can't help but feel there's the shift to Scorpio, like enough with the fighting, even within myself or within the family unit. I want to switch from surviving to thriving. In whatever context this may be. Maybe you're in a crappy job or, relationship where you're just, reflecting about your family dynamic, and it's, looking at everything without looking at the people, places, and things without projecting blame on them, and maybe just some sort of resurgence of realization coming through to say everyone was just doing what they could to survive. So I'm so angry at them, or I harbor things, and it's they were just grown children trying to figure things out too. And yeah, maybe they did crap the bed in some areas, but I'm sure you have too, and you can compassionately understand. So it almost just feels like this, as much as this feels like a heavy understanding and a realization, I'm feeling this freedom to go, oh my God, but I'm holding them to a caliber or position that they were just trying to survive. So I want to switch gears from survival to thrival. And then I'm being brought down here where I see a cub, like a bear cub, but he's like doing Tai Chi or something. And this is making me feel like this understanding, this realization is like, oh, I'm going to start working my magic here. And the space that's made between maybe these other characters in your family, or maybe they're of your friends, college time, I don't know, something along that lines. I'm also hearing that somebody in college or in a different level of education where you might have been away, you felt like you were the loner while everyone else was like partying or something like that. And you just kind of went off on your own for the same but different. Like you're like, I could be here to party, this, that, or the other, but I'm coming from a place where I need to work what appears to be harder, maybe what you think, because I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. So you might have missed out on some partying or fun, but you chose to like dig your heels in and you just get your work done. So, for a future thriving, and hopefully that's coming in place for you. Regardless, I feel like both of them are coming into this place of Tai Chi and working with different energies of calming things down of any really agitating awarenesses. And suddenly me standing here as the Scorpio in this situation, I'm like, they're agitating because that's what they give off, and I've been receiving it as that by our experiences, and that, just of course, but it's like you change and go, but I don't even want that to affect me. So you start doing something. I don't know what it is, Scorpio, because it's very mysterious, very mysterious. Okay, so the so curious. I just saw the orange, like fruits of your labor, and I feel like that's where you're coming into, if you haven't already, Scorpios, like really relishing in that and knowing that your work, the way you think, the way you've been challenging your own perceptions and this, that, or the other, working hard. It's working to have the fruits of your labor, but the ink just changed on me, and I'm seeing this. Okay, I'm going to show you these caterpillars. But see how like they're in this darkness? These caterpillars have human heads. they also have a scorpion tail. So the Scorpios are transforming the energy, at least in the aura, if you're resonating with this mixed message, is it's like they're coming up. It is like a caterpillar, but also like I don't know the word of it. Anyway, it's fine. And they're coming up to this pinnacle while they're in this void space, but this void space has been very nurturing in some respects. And I could even just be in like your subconscious space here. And these caterpillars are coming up, human heads, caterpillar body, scorpion tail. And they're coming up to like this, I'm going to say pinnacle, because it'll open. It's like I'm seeing a secret thing on a mantle, not a book. It looks like a statue. And it's like I'm up against this mantle thing, and the statue is like right here, whatever the statue is. And I'm just talking. It's like right here. And if I was to like lean up against it or pull it, anyway, an opening would be had. Okay. Scorpios, what's going on? I love it. It's like this whole secret chamber thing. Okay, so these caterpillar human head things are at this pinnacle thing, and they are talking. Subconscious, conscious, could be, hurts to healings, different ideas about things, the extremities of polarities, exoteric, esoteric, whatever the case may be. Okay, and they are at this pinnacle, and they are talking, and this pinnacle statue thing almost looks like if I could make a statue of a keyhole that comes to a point. And this key you've created over all the things you've been through. And I see somebody like filing away. And I mean like filing for fine details. So this, when you decide to open this key, you're really the only one. And when you do this, it's going to open up. And it's almost like this is what it feels like. Your light comes shining through, and it is, I'm gonna say a butterfly, but it's not like a butterfly I've ever seen before. And I'm in Canada, so I don't know. There's only so many kinds of butterflies in my area. But this feels like an ethereal, mythological kind of creature. Like if I could smash a phoenix and a butterfly together, that's what it would be like. Okay, so when and if Scorpios, if you're resonating, you open this keyhole, but you're gonna have a conversation first, and it like your light comes pouring out in this phoenix smash up with a butterfly, and a bunch of stuff is expelled, but it's expelled not in a haste or waste. I'm seeing boulders, like stones, being dropped that make piles like I think it's the Blair Witch. I could be wrong, but it's not defined. Because like they'll make these piles that will tell you things if you're like nearing close to the same cycle or nearing close to a conversation you've had before. But they each hold some sort of information for you. So maybe even just working with crystals or stones or gems. Maybe you have like a worry stone or some sort of like contemplation contraption, but it feels like it's of a natural, like I'm seeing stone, like you might find a stone, piece of gravel. Like it's not about how fancy it is, it's about the frequency it is. Anyway, so I'm seeing like these little things like Blair Witch style, and they remind you to like somebody's trying to lure you into some bull from before. You're like, I left myself a remembering, and I'm not going to throw stones. That's not the point. It's, you know what I mean? I'm also seeing an edging. like a path, like you're making your own path. So when they're in a pile, it's about the other, like trigger warnings, but in a good way, right? In a good way. Letting you know that you're close to something that's happened before. But then I'm seeing them also, you place them like paths, like you're making paths. But this phoenix smash up is like kind of illuminates that. Okay, I feel like I've rambled on so long in there, Scorpio, so sorry, not sorry, but thank you so much for holding space for that. An incredible fairy tale, because that's what it feels like, is an incredible fairy tale. All right, we're moving on for Scorpios. I did flip it to win it, and I'm going to start adding on some tarot and oracle. If you're interested in your own Rorschach and reading, intuition, this is what you're working on. The links are below. You can donate, buy me a coffee or a ghost juice, or PayPal. Scorpios. Whew. This is an intense fairy tale. Intense. At least that's how it makes me feel. But it's not like intense in a bad way. It feels intense like in this invoking power bat coming through. Like you invoke thy power and fear not the hidden. What lurks is coming when undenying change. You're the change maker. You're the one. You're the one doing it. Something about nighttime as well. I don't know if you move. I can't help but say, like, see, like she kind of looks like the Blair Witch. And I don't actually mean it in it's like a good, bad, or evil. I just feel like there's a part of you that is re-emerging and saying, like, I need to relook at things. Like that's what you're doing. Oh, okay. So that butterfly phoenix smash up, I was gonna say it had bat wing, like if you were to spread out a bat wing and see like the fabric in it is the bat. So the bats may also be standing out for you. Healer, this is your beginning to heal. See that third eye up there, or the moon again? This is you. You are doing this journey, stepping out of your own shadows, or the shadows of your past, your shadows of your siblings, I don't know, whatever, the school, something. Tai Chi, owl was on the bottom. There is magic in the darkest of places if one dares to open their eyes. So Scorpio, maybe even you're opening your eyes to seeing where you kind of like were veiled in your own sight. Like it was easier to survive by having particular perceptions of people, places, or things because it served staying in survival mode. And I don't know at what timeline you decided, or you're in it now, you're like, I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. And that means peeling off those perceptions that are holding you bound because it's you, because there's some sort of realization that's had that they're just grown-up children, or they were children too. Nobody knew the right or wrong thing to do. They were all surviving. So peel off the Band-Aid of holding those perceptions and maybe like, oh, if you dare to open your eyes to that and you can see that that was your power all along, the power of your perception. Okay, so there's three wise ones, and they are all talking on the side of a bush. Something that's slightly hidden, but it's hidden in plain sight. Kind of like, maybe it's like a campfire, or just getting together with a few friends or specific family members. and kind of like hashing things out, but in this natural environment, so everyone's supported to also do what you're doing, or you might lead them to express what you're doing, to say, looking, I'm maybe there's forgiveness and apologies, to be like, I'm sorry, I've been holding you to this placement of when we were 10 or when we were in college, this, that, or the other, and I've been holding you there because it was serving me to stay in a particular mode, and I don't want to be there anymore, so I'm gonna just release it, and I'm gonna let you know. We had a bunch of cards that came out here. So the King of Swords in the reverse. I feel like if you've been fighting with yourself, Scorpios, the internal, remember the battle from before, like getting ready to throw a punch. You're done beating yourself up and possibly others by the perception of that. The Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit. This Hermit card feels like the side of the mountain that I've been seeing. And there is, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There is a gent up here. You might feel like you've been on a lonely road and are heading to another one, but it's like, at least it's on your own terms. There's nobody else to, it's like I can hear like being upset at Mother Nature for making the mountain this way, but you chose to be on the mountain. You chose to walk it. It's like, well, why was the mountain made this way? And maybe that's the era of things that you grew up with, and your perception is changing. You're like, but I'm the one who chose to start walking. So why am I upset at the mountain? The Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. This feels like a glow up. And I tend not to use that term a whole lot for one reason or another, Scorpios, but it feels like any baggage you've been holding is going to become your power, and is your power, always has been in some respects, and you're looking back and seeing it, and it's almost like I can shift it from seeing a bunch of boulders that are weighing you down to bags of money. Be like, oh my God, I've been wealthy the whole time, I just didn't see it. And then it brings me back to like those pile of rocks that I was seeing, and the pathways. And it's like at some point in time in history, like those were negotiating tools. Maybe create something with them. You can create. And coming into the Nine of Pentacles, like look how flashy that is. Wow, for heavens, my lighting, but there it is. This is it Ginger from Gilligan's Island, and there's that statue. There's a statue in there again that's saying like, yeah, you did this. Grapes in the background, fruits of your labor, right from the oranges. Wow. Okay, Scorpios, I'm getting ready to close out here because I really feel like I've taken up too much of your time. But I want to acknowledge the amazement at this. And I feel like kind of like you might amaze yourself and others. And then there's maintenance work, right? There's maintenance to keep on walking. To keep on walking this path that you're paving for yourself. Because I see like going from the 7 to the 9 to the 10. Oh my goodness. I'm going to leave it there. This feels immensely transformative. But not to discredit, to actually honor the inner work that you're doing, Scorpios, the peeling off of veils or fog or smog that have been not holding you because maybe you were taught to perceive them that way. And you're undoing some teachings and you're welcoming in your own power of perception to say, wow. And it's like, you know, what you've been secretly, or maybe you're just exposing to yourself. You're like, I know why I see things that way, because secretly it's serving some pity party I have in myself, because this is where I came from. This was my story. This was my history. And now you're like, So you know what I mean? Like you're finding out your own secrets about that. You're like, no, man, I'm going from surviving to thriving. That's all I can say about this. There's work to be done, but you have serious amount of support, and there's like a vulture slash eagle or hawk that's keeping an eye on you. So you might even notice that as you're going through this, because you might do it very quietly before you start having these little like kumbaya campfires with people, symbolically speaking, of course, to kind of express this. If you decide to at all, perhaps it's just in the subconscious mind and releasing things. But you will end up at some point in time, at least to someone, is what I'm feeling, is letting them know. But they're watching you. They're going to watch you go through this because they believe in you. They believe in you, and they want to believe you because you, in turn, will become an example that empowers them to change and shift their perception of their personal point of view as well. And this is all about looking in a mirror. And the perceptions that have been placed upon different people when not looking at the mirror. Okay, I'm going to go. Oh my goodness. Down the rabbit hole you go. Best of luck. Thank you so much for being my muse. And until next time, Scorpio, thank you for being you.